was at least 8.5 feet tall.
It wasn't more than
we probably locked eyes for maybe 3 seconds, and that was enough for me to just be completely scared out of my mind.
You put bait out too?
We have similar reports in Russia.
I must have watched it for about, a minute and a half.
A large something.
I couldn't explain what it was. And that's when I saw the face peek out from behind the tree at me.
But ancient Native Americans have been recounting sightings for centuries. Sightings of creatures all the creek.
They ran into this people that they call the creek nibble.
Since the late 1950s, local and national newspapers have recounted eyewitness reports of 6 to 8 foot tall, hairy, man-like creatures roaming the mountains of Humboldt County in Northern California.
Where the crystal waters flow, no reason to consider company might show, but destiny would find you where you walked across the sand. Divided. Did Roger film a Bigfoot or man? Where are you now, Patty?
Well, welcome, folks. It's that time once again for the Friday evening Bigfoot Radio. And now for the Bigfoot research teams from across the country. Welcome, everyone. How is everyone doing tonight?
Everybody's doing tonight, I guess, is okay. The weather here is starting to cool off. It's no longer hot anymore. Thank God of that. We have Snake Man, who is in Paris, Texas, talking about doing a ghost or spirit hunt in some old abandoned hospital or something like that sometime next week. We have Chris Marola going to tell us about his Bigfoot encounters and research that went on when he went on vacation last week. And anyhow, and for people out there that have any weird, strange encounters like UFOs, strange things that go bump in the night, except for me, by the way, and anything else, or UFOs, whichever the case may be, you can call us up at 667-770-1476, and the participant code is 759314. Again, 667-770-1476. Participant code is 759314. So, Chris, tell us, what the hell happened when you were out in the boonies? What about those logs that were crossing the road? Did you ever get out?
Yes, I did make it. It was quite an adventure, man. From weather and the encounters with Bigfoot, the bears ripping my tent apart. There was coyotes. There's pack of coyotes coming by. The barred owls. It was riveting. And 2 nights out of the 5 nights, I couldn't even have a fire. So you're out there in the forest, in the dark with no moonlight, and I don't have a fire because of the weather. And the day started going up there. It was sunny, and it was a high of 46. It took, let me tell you something. To go down this logging road that I had to go on and then put my stuff with me by myself and carry it up the mountain. Normally, I've been taking someone else with me to go and do it, and by myself, instead of 45 minutes with 2 people, it took me 2 hours and 15 minutes, man. I was huffing and puffing and carrying stuff and stopping every 30 yards. And I'm going, oh, my God. And I was just like, and thank God it was 46 degrees, because if it was real hot, I would have just died.
Right.
And I kept going. And then I would drop half of my stuff, take the other half, go up like 100 yards, and then go back down, pick up the other half, and bring it back up 100 yards. And I had to do that all the way to the stop where I go to the mountain where I've been going for the last since 2019.
Right.
And so then, I had to set up my tent, which I did, and it was a shitty position that I had to set my tent on with these rocks and shit. And but thank God I had one of these military beds that you pump up with your foot, and you could put your sleeping bag on it, so it wasn't as rough and you weren't getting as cold. But then I had to I had to cut wood. And I had to put the fireplace back together. The fire pit was like dismantled. So I put the fire pit, I broke wood, and I wanted to make enough wood that if I was going to stay up to 3 or 4 in the morning, I was going to do it. And so after I got situated, night was coming. The barred owls. I couldn't believe how many barred owls that night. They all came to visit, man. It was just riveting. I was happy. They were just calling and calling to each other, and it's a great sign. When you have animals interacting with you and coming that close, it's a wilderness entity of letting you know that they're there and they're going to give you a surprise. That's what it is to be out. Okay, that's what it feels like, people. Okay, when you know when the wildlife knows what you're doing and you're out there, they're there to greet you, meet you, or scare you.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm there, and I said, screw it, I'm making a fire. I know Bigfoot does not like fire. Okay, they stay their distance, but I wanted coffee, I wanted hot chocolate, I wanted comfort, but these barred owls weren't stopping. And so I'd say the sun sets at I think it was 7:34. And then dusk comes and it was completely dark about 8:40. It took even an extra hour where I was looking at the highest point in the sky, and the stars were out, and so on. It was beautiful, and you could see all the satellites going through and stuff. And I'm looking in the distance, and I see the eye shine. But the eye shine of them were farther away than normal. I'm waving to them. Now, they can see me. They're like 200 yards away from me. So I know if they're staying up in that tree and they're sitting there, they can see me. They have the power, the magic, to look in a tree and see me 200 yards away.
Well, yeah.
And they're staying up there, and I'm looking at them. Okay, and I'm waving to them, and as I'm waving to them, their eyes get brighter. I don't know if they understand that. Many of them, some do. They figure it out that their eye shine lets me know that they're there. And when you're up in a tree and there's no leaves, and there won't be any leaves till May where I am, that and the altitude and up in the hills, there are no leaves now. Okay? And so I'm looking at them, I see two of them, and maybe they're like 30 yards apart from each other, each in one tree. And they're looking, I'm waving, I'm calling them, because I brought food. I brought mangoes, man. I brought apples. I brought apricots, prunes, beef jerky. You name it, I was bringing it, and I was going to share it with them, So...
Yeah, go ahead.
You want to ask a question?
Go ahead. I was just thinking about prunes. I could just imagine them eating that and then looking for the nearest bathroom.
Oh yeah, I always bring prunes, man. Prunes are good for you.
Dysentery.
You're good, didn't you?
So, Chris.
Yep. Oh
let me
yeah.
get this straight.
Yep.
You got harassed by Yogi and Boo Boo?
Yeah, Well, do you want me to? Listen. I'm giving you the steps a day.
Yeah, go ahead. Let it
So I'm going
finish.
to tell you how. I'm going to tell you how the events went, Snake Man. Okay, because then you're going to get me like going to this way, that back and forth, and all this, and you're not going to get the high points of what I'm trying to teach you from what I did. So that night, okay, I'm there and I'm waving to them, and they're just not coming. And I'm getting, you know, I'm going like, I'm waving, but they're staying there and they're looking at me, and about maybe 3 hours go by and it starts dropping in temperature. It's 27 degrees. Okay. So the high of the day was 46. And at night it's 27 degrees and I'm freezing, but I can't stay. It was like 12:30 or something, like 12:15. I said, screw this. I got to get into bed. So I put out the fire. I get into my tent in there, and I just can't sleep. It is that freaking cold. Even with my sleeping bag and my long johns and those hand warmers that I'm putting in to my long johns and stuff, I mean, 27 degrees is cold. But I'm staying awake in about 5:30. 6 barred owls, just, I'm not kidding you, come screaming over the tent like they are screaming right above me, these barred owls. And I'm going, what the hell is going on here? And then all of a sudden, maybe the barred owls stop, and then these coyotes start going at it. A pack of them, not just one or two. There's a pack of coyotes going on after the barred owls. And I'm going, wait a minute. I mean, this is crazy. And I unzip my tent. I'm looking outside, trying to see eye shine and so on like this. I can't. Then about 15 minutes later, I hear a single call. And it was like Bigfoot calling. I was screaming there, like, give me the last salute. Okay? And then I'm going, all right, well, screw it, I'm up. So I get up, and I didn't even make coffee. I just was up, walking around, looking, and prior to that, I put food out. I put apples out and pistachios and stuff all around, but nothing was taken. Nothing was taken. So I waited till it was about 9:30. It got a little bit warmer, and that day on Sunday, it was going to be high of 50 degrees, 55, I think, degrees, and at night it was going to be 42. Well, I knew I wasn't going to be freezing like the night before. Are you cooking your pasta, Steve?
I ain't cooking nothing.
So I was waiting to hear a story. I was waiting to hear a story that maybe the skunks tucked you in at night.
Oh, no. So anyways, I said, okay, I'm going to go back. Is that Anthony? Anthony, you making that noise?
Chris?
Yeah.
What are you talking about?
I'm hearing a rattling. I'm hearing a lot of static.
I'm not rattling.
I don't hear nothing. I thought the phone cut off when you stopped talking.
That's what I thought.
I was about ready to ask. Yeah, I was about ready to ask you, hey, Chris, you still here? You guys hear it?
All right. I'm hearing a bunch of shit, so that's why I stopped talking. So if I'm going to be talking and nobody can hear what I'm saying, then I'm not going to be saying. I'm wasting my story.
Oh,
so anyway,
I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I know you can. I don't know if it was you. I don't know if it was Snake Man or Giant, but something was going on. So that's why I stopped.
You faded out for
I thought it was Giant cooking.
You faded out a few seconds and you came back on. So I don't know if it was on your end or what.
No, I'm just hearing stuff or like a scratching, rattling. Anyways, all right, I'm going to try to finish this stuff so we can hear the story and then whatever. So 9:30 in the morning, I said, screw it. I'm going down. I'm going down to the bottom, get some more supplies out of my car. As I am going down, you don't hear that? Nobody's hearing this.
I hear it, but I don't know who.
No, it's stopped.
I don't
Yeah,
hear it.
somebody's doing it.
It's
Is
not
somebody
me.
else
I
on the
had
line
my
to-
phone on mute.
All right, you know what? I'm gonna mute my phone just in case me moving around is doing something, but I don't hear anything.
Okay. So I start going. How many people are on the line right now, Giant? Is it me, Anthony?
Let me look.
Snake Man?
Let me look. I've got Farmville, which is Anthony. I have Snake Man, and I have you. That's it.
That's it. Okay.
That's it.
I don't know, somebody else who's on the line not talking. All right. So, as I am going down to my SUV, I look over close to the bottom of the mountain, and I see out of the corner of my eyes a black Bigfoot for like 3 seconds going up the mountain through the pine trees, and I just caught it, man, and then it stopped, and I stopped, and I was waving at it. But this Bigfoot that I saw was huge. I mean, he almost looked like King Kong, man, or Mighty Joe Young or something. I mean, this thing was big for the few seconds, and he stopped it. I couldn't get him to move anymore, and I was saying stuff, waving at him, and but that was it. So I went down to my SUV, and on the hood on my SUV is this cross, this X that they put on my car, a big X lying on top of my hood. And I'm going, you gotta be kidding me. And then as I saw that, I'm looking for fingerprints, and then I look under my back rear tires, and there's 2 logs under my back rear tires, so I can't back out. And I'm going, what? And they weren't dragged. The thing is, like, when you drag logs, they're like 12 inches in diameter and, like 7 feet long, and then place them underneath your tires so you can't back out. They were placed there neatly. I'm going, holy cow. So I'm going, oh man, I said, they want me to stay. So I will start walking down the log road, wondering if they like maybe knock down a tree. Well, not only did they knock down, they put 2 huge logs in the road, so I could not leave, in the shape of a V, which I myself think they're showing me that it's the sign of the female for the V shape. And I was speaking with Giant about it, and he says it's also a location. So either or. They're in the middle of the road, and they were not dragged, man. I mean, they were put there, laid down there. It wasn't like they were, if it was a human being to drag, you couldn't carry them. Mm-hmm. So I'm going, oh, man, okay, now this is Sunday morning. So they want me to stay, and I'm going, all right, well, that's all right. The only thing I was worried about is getting out of there when it was time for me to leave. Mm-hmm. And I'm going, like, how am I going to do this by myself? Because I'm not leaving. So I said, whatever. I got the other things that I needed. I went back up to the mountain, to my campsite, and I got prepared. And I started a fire, the whole bit. And that night again, the sunset, wasn't any animal noises the second night. Not even anything. I mean, no barred owls, no coyotes. Though one coyote did come 20 feet away from me that night. I heard his footsteps, boom, 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 and he went by me. Just a single coyote or wolf. I don't know, hybrid or whatever. That was the only animal that I saw. And then that night, there they come again, 2 of them. And they're on top of the trees. And I'm waving to them and saying to come, come, come. Nothing. They're not coming any closer. They're 200 yards. I'm going. The last few times I was there, a lot closer, man. I mean, there was, the husband and the wife and the little one they brought, 3 of them. And I had my friend John there who works with me. He, wanted to see about Bigfoot. Well, he got to see him at the same time in April, climbing up and down the trees. You can, and that glimmering coat that they have when they're climbing up the trees. I mean, they were sparkling, and I think there was like a half moon or something like that, maybe, but you could see them climbing up and down the trees. This time it was no moon. There was total darkness. And they stayed and they wouldn't come any closer. I don't know why, maybe, but they put the X and everything on my tires that I couldn't leave on the hood and the whole bit. And I'm getting disappointed. I'm making that fire. I'm staying up late, 1:30 in the morning. They wouldn't come any closer. So, then I got up in the morning. I brought enough water that I didn't have to go back down. And then I did my walking around and everything like that in the woods, trying to find, it's a lot of snaps and arches and stuff in there, and looked around. I didn't use my camera. The one thing I did not want to bring my camera out hardly at all, because I know they know what cameras are, and I didn't want to lose a mistrust to them, and I didn't want to, especially with them keeping me here and not wanting me to leave. So on the 3rd night, the owls came back again, and I could hear maybe one coyote in the distance, not like a pack it was that night, and that was a good sign. I'm always happy to hear that. And darkness came. And then all of a sudden, I see a pair of eyes in distance, and again, they're looking at me at 200 yards, and I know they're there because they're stopping there because they can see me that far. So I'm waving and everything like that. I'm even making a heart-shaped sign with my hand, and I had a flashlight that it's one that you put around your head, and you can walk around with a headlight. But I put it around my neck, and I started making the heart shape with my hand, so they could see that it was I put my fingers together and make the form of heart there, and he starts coming closer. But this was not a female. The ones that I saw up in the trees before, their eyes were white and bluish color, which the females have. This one was red. So he comes, and he comes like 30 feet from me. And he's in the dark, and his head is swerving back and forth as I'm talking to him. And his eyes are just going, and he's moving around there. I'm going, come here, buddy, come here. I can't see his silhouette because there's no light. And the clouds were coming over, and I could see in the distance lightning. And you could barely hear the thunder. So I'm talking to him for like 15 minutes in the calm voice, and I said, do you remember me? Matt, I was wondering if it was when it was one of those little ones that were around the cabin, and now he's a teenager, and so his head just kept on going back and forth, and almost like a circle, man, with your hand. If you did stick your hand out and go in a circle back and forth, and then it starts pouring. I mean, there's rains after it just started pouring hard. And so I run in and get a poncho that I brought, and I bought some mangoes. I said, wait here, because I was getting sopped. So I grabbed my poncho, and I went and grabbed 2 mangoes. And when I went towards him, which was really maybe, I'd say 40 feet away from there, but I walked to that area, and I couldn't see him. And I put the 2 mangoes on a log there for him to eat. And then I went back, but it was pouring so bad, man. I'm talking severely. And then lightning was coming. If you look it up, man, there's some bad storms we had this week. And so I went back into my tent, and I had to be back in my tent by 9:30, 9:40. And it was just coming down hard. And I checked my phone, and it said severe hail possible. And it was hitting hard. And so I was able to sleep. I fell asleep. And then I woke up in the morning. Matter of fact, I slept for 10 hours. And I woke up in the morning, and I don't know, did some things walking around and so on. I went back down to my car coming down the mountain. It was nice. I brought a few things back that I thought I didn't need, so I just didn't have a heavier burden of carrying stuff when I finally left. And the X on my hood was on the branches that they put on my hood was still there. The logs underneath my tires, and the V, 100 yards down the road there was blocking, so I couldn't drive out. All that was still there. And I kept on saying to him, listen, you got to move this for me to leave. I cannot stay here unless there's, something, works out that I can stay there. But I said, no, But I went back up, and on the 4th night, I didn't make a fire because I knew the fires was useless. I mean, it was a severe rain. Everything was good. I said it was useless, so I was out there in the dark. And the 4th night, he starts coming again, the one with the red eyes. And there were those ones far in the back with the white eyes, but they never came close like this young one did, or whatever this male was. I really, all I could tell you is that I could see the movement of his head, and that was it. And as he was coming closer, he was staying more of a distance. I would stay, instead of being like 30 or 40 feet, or whatever, this time he was like 100 feet. I was saying, buddy, why don't you come? I was going why don't you come? And he sort of started to come closer, and all of a sudden, I hear a snap. Bang! To my left, where nothing I ever see is to my left. Always to my front, to my left. So there was another one there. And it wasn't a wood knock. It was a snap. And he even, his eyes got brighter, and he just stayed where he was. And I'm going, okay, so the big daddy, or the one that I saw, he's involved. No. And he knew that that other one would have gotten closer if he wasn't paying attention. He wasn't there the first night. If he was there the first night, he wouldn't have let him get as close as he was. Okay, so I hear this big snap, and that was close. And then I'm saying, "Oh man!" I said, "I got some food," and I was even looking over that direction in the dark because I'm out there without any fire, brothers. Okay, all I have is that little thing around my neck in the dark. So all of a sudden, I hear in the distance. I'm going, "What the?" What are they talking about out there? And this is in the distance. And it's going on, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. I mean, and it's getting closer. I'm looking, I'm going, what is this finally coming to me after 15 minutes? Do you know what came up to me?
A bear?
Have a guess.
A Bigfoot?
Anybody have a guess?
A Bigfoot?
No. I went. No.
A raccoon?
It's an animal. It was a porcupine, a baby porcupine. I couldn't believe it. And I'm wearing this glow stick around my neck, this flash, and this thing comes up to me. And I'm hearing it 15 minutes out of nowhere. It just came up to me. I'm going, holy shit. It was this little one. It wasn't like a baby, but it must have been a 1-year-old or maybe a 2-year-old. It wasn't a fully grown porcupine, but it was a porcupine. And it came right up to my feet. So I said, okay, buddy. I said, wait here. I'll go get you an apple. So I go in my, to get him a tent, apple by my tent. I come back, and he's like in the bushes then, going the other way. So on that. So that was that night. And then as soon as that ended and going on about 11 o'clock, instead of like 9:30, whatever the time it was before that, there was it did the same thing again, and it poured all the way to 5 in the morning, just coming down heavy, man. I mean, it just all these things are coming across the Great Lake and so on like that. And so the next day, I go, okay, I got to go down and bring some stuff down to the SUV, some more stuff, and I'll get another jug of water just in case I want to stay till Saturday and leave. I was going to stay an extra day and leave like either Friday would have been the 6th night or even Saturday. I just was hoping to have more interaction. So I go down, logs are still blocking me, and the V is still there. The X is still on my top of my truck. I go in, and as I come back, climbing up the mountain again, I get to near my tent, and I see my tent is destroyed from a distance. And there's the bear. Then I see the bear on top of my tent, ripping it apart, taking my apples, everything. I mean, just shredding it. And then he sees me, and then he takes off. And I'm going, oh, my God, you got to be kidding. And he just ate all the prunes, all the apricots, the beef jerky, my pistachios that I enjoyed. I bought like a 5-pound bag of pistachios for like $20. And he just feasted on everything. Now I don't have food to survive. Well, I could survive. I can go many times without eating food over a week. And but I had water, and I did have one. I got scared enough. I did have one bag of apples that I didn't get. I brought 2 like 5 or 10 pound bags of apples, and I had one bag of beef jerky. I said I can do it. I can stay Saturday. But when I put the tent back together with zip ties and everything, I'm going, man. And then, all the creatures and stuff, like ticks and spiders and everything that was crawling in the tent on the outside. I had 2 covers on my tent. One for being in and with screened in, and then there's another dome plastic I put in, and they would crawl up the side of the tent. You just see all these creepy crawlers, like holy shit. So, but now with the holes through everything, even with patching it up with zip ties, I'm going like, this is just, I'm not happy about this. And I was pissed at that bear, and the bear came back. The bear came back, and I sent them a video to Anthony to show him, and he was reluctant to leave. And he was getting to the point where I was using the bear horn, and he was like, oh, I ain't afraid of the bear horn no more. So, and the bear was maybe 225, I'd say, the weight-wise. So, he's like a 4 or 5 year old bear, because the first 2 years they're with their mother. And so I'm pissed. I just look at my tent, I look at my food, I look at everything and what he did. But anyways, after confronting this bear for 7 hours and chasing him, He finally left. I don't know. Bigfoot followed him, told him to get the out of here, whatever. But he didn't come back. But it was 7 hours, man. For me and this bear. I mean, it was aggravating, because I was like, oh, and I had set up my tent and everything. So that night I didn't have fire again, and Bigfoot came again and stayed a distance. It poured like crazy, and it was disappointing. And this was on Thursday night, pouring, and I went back in my tent, and I just got saturated. The rain came through all the scratch marks I couldn't fix. I mean, my sleeping bag, inside of the corner of the tents, there was a puddle. So that part was disappointing. Then I said, okay, well, this is not for me. I said, I can't do it with this wet sleeping bags and so on. So I packed everything up on Thursday. I had my 5 nights there in 6 days. And I went one trip down in the morning to bring half of it done. I looked around. The logs were still there. Everything was still there. They hadn't moved everything. I asked them to move it. They didn't move it. So I went back up, cleaned up the whole place, put everything well away, just left it clean for nature. And as I was coming down, I saw a glitter in the woods, like a reflection in the woods, similar to a predator. And that was the only thing I saw, was a glitter. It was just weird. In the same direction when I saw the big Bigfoot going up the mountain, boom, boom, boom. That same area, but it was just a glitter. It didn't belong there, but it was there. But I couldn't see a figure out of it. I couldn't make out a body, but it was just a distorted color in space.
Almost like as if it was a doorway.
Could it be a doorway? I mean, good point. Never thought of that. Never thought of that. All I know, it was just messed up. Wasn't normal. But nothing I could do about it. I thought, if they want to transform and be in stealth, then they're doing that on a reason. So I didn't. So I went back down, cleaned myself up as best as I could, because I know I was going back to civilization, and I wanted to stop and get Dunkin' Donuts and get some coffee in me and stuff. So, no, yeah, man. Let me tell you, those wipes, those man wipes and stuff that you get, those wet wipes. Mm-hmm. Thank God, whoever invented that, fantastic. So I got most of the dirt off of my body. And then I got my crowbar. I removed the tire. The wood under the tires was not as hard as I thought it would be, but one of them was good size. And I don't know if I sent you the pictures, Stephen or Bruce. Did you look at did Bruce?
Actually, when I called you up, if you remember right, you showed me on your phone about the sticks and all that stuff laying there, and then you took the phone around to where the back tire was at. And I'm sitting there looking at this and like, what the hell?
Yeah. I'm going like, they wanted me to stay. That was on the second day, but I left there, didn't touch it, so they didn't think I was leaving. And then I went down the road 100 yards, and there was the V again. So I had my shovel that I used for a toilet. I bury my shit wherever I am. Boom. I bury it just for wildlife purposes, whatever, and those man wipes. So I did that, but I went there, and man, it took a while. And I had my crowbar. I'd stick it in the ground, and I'd push up with the shovel, stick that up, and like push as far as I could. Stick the crowbar in, push up as far as I could, push it. So I did both of those, and I was able to get it far enough to the side, and I'm looking at my SUV, how wide it is, and go up in the bank and go around it, and I was able to do that.
I figured you would.
And I'm sorry?
I said I figured you would.
That would be the only way, yeah. I mean, I can't get help, you know, and I have AAA, but that wouldn't have worked. So as I get down there and I go get my coffee and stuff, I get back home and I want to take a shower. And I'm going to send you this picture. I got fingerprints on my arm.
Huh.
I don't know how they got bruises. I got a bruise, 2 fingerprints. I'm looking at it now, and I took some pictures. I'm going to send it to you. I don't remember ever getting it.
Wow. Then were you ever asleep?
Oh yeah, of course.
You probably
even the last night.
They probably grabbed your arm when you were asleep to let you know, hey, we're here, wake up. And I guess you were so tired you fell asleep you didn't get up.
Oh, I guess. I remember I slept, even with the rain and stuff, I might have slept an hour, maybe an hour and a half. But that either happened there, but, you know, I'm looking at the bruises now on my arm, man. It's like 2 fingers, man, on my bicep. How do they get there? You know, and why is it there? You know, I know they, was it them that did it? And this is where the paranormal comes in, Bruce.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
you know,
it does. If you got bruises and you can't explain them, then that's something that's unexplainable. So, yeah.
I'll send it to you.
Anyhow,
Anyhow,
the reason I can suggest why that porcupine came up to you, the baby one, and I can tell you exactly what that was, that animal trusted you. See, there's a lot of things a lot of people don't know, especially about wild animals out in the field and stuff like this. An animal can tell if you're a good person or a bad person. That little porcupine that came up to you figured you were a good person. That's why he approached you, or she approached you, one of the two. And a lot of animals don't do that unless they can actually tell by whether you fear them or not. Now, I've had a cougar come up to me, and I didn't fear it at all. I mean, we were just sitting there staring at each other, and when I took one step towards it, he took off. He's like, what the hell?
Yeah.
But animals can tell if you're a good person or not.
Right, but Steve, on another note, too, it could have smelled the food, too.
He wasn't cooking nothing.
No.
He didn't have
beef jerky, stuff like that. And was it, the mangoes?
The beef jerkies were sealed. The mango wasn't even cut. So how's he going to smell anything?
Yeah, I mean, not only that, the bear ate most of everything by then. This was on the third night. This was on the third night. But the thing about it was it started 15 minutes before. I thought it was Bigfoot talking to each other. You know, that's what I'm hearing. I'm going, wow, I never heard that type of a song from them, you know, or a talk or chatter. I mean, I've heard some chatters from them. I even have some recorded on my video channel. People can listen to it.
Yeah. Porcupines, they sound exactly what you just mimicked. And I thought, well, it sounds like a porcupine, but I'll just let him go ahead and finish the story.
Yeah.
You think that maybe it might have been mating season?
No.
Yeah.
Bigfoots don't do that when they're mating. Trust me on that one.
No, I meant the porcupines.
No, porcupines don't even do that when they're mating. Actually, a porcupine actually sounds like a child if it screams. It's weird how they do it, too.
Yeah, I mean, I smiled. I was going, and even the Bigfoot that was there with the red eyes was even looking what I was doing. I mean, he was, you know, like I said, that night he's maybe 100 feet away, but he could see me. He was looking and wondering what the sound was, too, that was coming to me. I'm surprised the females didn't come. Usually the females, they come.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're more interacting.
Yeah.
But the young male came. I even sent a picture to Anthony of a small Bigfoot that I caught off of my video camera
Well,
when I was at the cabin.
Right. Let's take a short break.
And
We'll be right back.
Okay.
Hey guys, heads up. Everything you've been told about shampoo and conditioner is a sham. Shampoo daily? Sham. Conditioners just for women? Sham. Washing your hair with chemicals? Boo. Do you want a dry scalp and a dull head of lettuce? Of course not. It's time to toss that salad and start respecting your roots with Dr. Squatch Natural Hair Care for Men. A shampoo and conditioner dream team for every type of hair. Once you have the right tools for the job, let's talk routine. You should only shampoo your hair 2 to 3 times per week. That's right. I'm telling you to use our product less. How many of our competitors are doing that? Unlike Big Pooh, we care about you. And you should know. Shampooing daily strips too many natural oils from your scalp. But James, I like to get dirty. Yeah, you do, because you're a man. But don't worry, we've got you. Shampoo every few days for a deep clean, and condition daily to rinse away sweat and grime while hydrating your hair. Oh, think you don't need conditioner? Tell that to your sad, dry hair.
So thirsty.
Shampoo cleans, conditioner hydrates. This is the key to a healthy head of hair. But James, this is 2-in-1 shampoo and conditioner. No, Mike. That's heresy. Using a 2-in-1 is like adding water to whiskey to get hammered and hydrated. Or going on a date wearing pants and unzipping the shorts. They say 2-in-1 like they're doing you a favor. But really, they're just making the product and the results worse. Don't cut corners with subpar products. Treat your hair right with Dr. Squatch. Hair care made in America with natural ingredients, proven to fortify your follicles, soothe your scalp, and keep your hair happy, healthy, and hydrated.
Thanks, James.
You're welcome, Mike's Hair. With a 4.9 average rating, a 100% satisfaction guarantee, and hundreds of thousands of men already making the switch, there's no need to mull it over. Go to drsquatch.com now, and while you're there, check out our satisfying lineup of natural soaps, colognes, and quality man stuff we've developed to help you shower better. Or subscribe and get shampoo and conditioner delivered automatically. Whether you're curly, straight, wavy, or wild. However you do what you do with your do it right with Dr. Squatch. Real hair care for real men. Click the link, go to drsquatch.com and get yours today.
And we're back.
Are you here?
I'm here. I'm waiting on you.
Oh, okay. Well, I didn't even remember where I left off.
You left off after that when you were coming down off the hill, and you went back to do something to the campsite, and you left back down the hill, get yourself what was it, a cup of Joe and some donuts. Went home to take a shower, and you found bruises on your arm.
Yeah, I'm sending you the pictures right now of the bruises.
Take a look at this. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah, those are big, looks like...
Well, I just can't understand it, man. I mean, they're right on my, like, close to my armpit and my bicep, and I'm going like, wow. How did they get there?
Hey, those are some serious bruises, man. Those are some serious looking bruises.
Yeah, Anthony. I don't know. I can't tell you. I can't tell you. And why? Why did they do it? Or who did it? You know. I mean, there are other things in the wood out there, in the forest out there, Stephen. There's other things as we all talk about.
Well, you want to hear a crazy story, and this is a true story, by the way. My mother told me this when I was in my 40s, and she told my ex-deceased wife this. She goes, well, when my son was out, he was like 3 years old. We all went camping up at a place in Oregon called Crater Lake. I don't know if anybody's ever heard of Crater Lake before. It's like an ancient old volcano or something like that. It's got an island sitting out in the middle of it. And my mom says that I was outside playing. She opened up the door, which is a camper door, trailer door that we went camping in and stuff like that. She opened up the door and she found me outside a couple yards away playing, get this, with a grown female bear and their cub. And I'm sitting there calling the bear a doggy and everything else. The bear's not doing nothing to me, okay? But my mother freaks out. She runs to the trailer. She picks me up, grabs me, and runs back to the trailer. The bear's just sitting there looking like, what the hell? And my mom said the bear and the cub took off, went somewhere else. And I told my mom, you know, when I was in the 40s, I said, you didn't let me sit there and play with a bear? She said, no, I was too afraid. I said, if the bear was going to do something, he probably would have ate me already, but he didn't. That's why I said, animals can tell whether you're a good person or not. They have this, I don't know what it is, I don't know if it's a mechanism about them or what, but they can tell if you're a good person or bad. And I've always had great luck with all kinds of wild animals, except for snakes. I can't stand snakes. But I've always had good things with coyotes or wolves or mountain lions. They just don't bother me.
Well, where I'm from, we never really had porcupines where I'm from. You don't hear many encounters with porcupines in Florida, where I'm from.
Well, of course, you're sticky enough.
Yeah, I didn't know. I know where you're from. Aren't there armadillos?
Yes, they are, and I catch them by hand.
Yeah. Some people eat them.
I would never eat one. Hell no.
But they
if you're hungry, you might change your mind.
I'd rather eat a pine. I'd rather eat a pine tree before I eat a freaking armadillo.
They're actually supposed to have leprosy too.
You're right. That's correct. Yep, you could get leprosy. That's right.
Yeah, that's why I don't like eating meat all that much. I'll stay clear of it.
Wait, say that again. Leprosy from cat from what?
I'm just type of person. Why would I want to go out and eat an animal that never did nothing wrong to me? I'll pass.
Well,
do you still eat burgers, Giant?
I eat veggie burgers.
Do you eat chicken?
Actually, that's
fish.
I eat fish. That's not an animal.
Yeah, actually, it is an animal. It's living and breathing. It bleeds. It breathes.
Actually, I eat fish, and fish doesn't breathe. It sucks in water and blows it out.
Fish killer.
Wait, does it have eyes?
Oh, come on, stop getting...
Yes, fish have eyes.
Yeah, whatever.
Fish have eyes.
If you want to get down nitty-gritty, so does a bug.
Oh, yeah, there were a lot of bugs. I was hoping to find lightning bugs. I love seeing fireflies, but I found a couple, but they weren't glowing. They were just on the tent.
Sasquatch would have thought you lost your damn mind watching you skip around the damn meadow catching fireflies.
You know something? Talk about fireflies. I remember when I was a kid growing up in Northern California after my family left L.A. after I was born. And I think I was like 10 or 11 or 12 years old visiting my family because I was, raised in a foster home most all my life growing up. And me and my family, we went camping and we saw nothing but fireflies and all this stuff. Oh my God, they look so beautiful. And they'd land on your shirt.
They do.
They land on your shirt with that nice little glowing tail. Oh my God, it looks so beautiful.
Yeah, my sister used to freak out whenever a lightning bug would land on her shoulder.
We used to enjoy catching them and putting them in a jar.
No, I couldn't do that.
Oh, I remember
we used to catch them and put them in a jar.
Yeah, if I want light, I just wait for the full moon to come out. Stay home when all the crazies are outside in town.
I've been blessed in my lifetime to see some great lightning in Virginia, not only Connecticut, also in Texas. And one night it was just incredible on Laguna Madre, man. Those were the biggest lightning bugs I've ever seen. They looked like bumblebees. Holy cow! But it was beautiful. Yeah, I never saw them that big before. On that. But one thing I think I mentioned this to Anthony about this trip, that I went to Walmart and I spent $55 on a charger. And I had another one that I bought 2 years ago when I went to the Colorado Rockies. I bought another one, and they're supposed to give you 72 hours of charging. And then I bought a third one that a friend gave me that would only use one charge. You could do 1 day, whatever, charge. Do you know when I was up there, and that was another reason I had to go down to the car every day, is because they didn't work. So I was getting down to 30%, and I'm putting in these things to charge my phone, and they were fully charged here in Connecticut. And when I put them in to charge my phone, they wouldn't work.
Oh, wow.
And I'm going, I just bought these, and I tested them out at home a dozen times. So I had to go down to every day. That was one reason, even if I didn't have to get water and stuff, just to charge my phone. And then when I did charge my phone in my car, it took like an hour and a half. I was going like, what the hell's going on here? Yeah. Yeah. Those things did not work.
Wow.
So they put the Kazam on that up there. Is there any questions you want to ask me, or anything that comes to mind?
Well, next time you take food, I'd make sure it was in the car instead of in the tent. That way a bear wouldn't get to it.
Hey, Chris, I would suggest constructing yourself a bear box.
Shit. What's a bear box?
Something that they cannot get into, that you can keep all your valuable food and stuff like that in.
A bear would try to do anything.
Yeah, but the thing is, you guys carrying any more weight, you couldn't believe me going up to the first day took 2 hours and 15 minutes. I was helping him. You bring any more weight, a bear box and shit. Listen, I know out of all the years I've been doing this, it finally happened to me. But I got a lot of mail. I have over 7,000 people watch me. I was doing my YouTube channel, sending these out, and boy, I got a lot of ridicules about I sent the video about the bear ripping my tent, how an idiot I am, and who would put their food. Well, okay, that was my mistake. Just trying to bring stuff with you and carrying it, and that where am I going to put? Okay, am I going to leave it outside, far from the tent, so every raccoon or every porcupine and every other thing is going to get it there besides the bear? What are you going to do with it? Okay, hang it up in a tree. They say hang it. Okay, bears climb trees. Yep. But, okay, that's one way I do it. You put it in a bag. You got to throw it over a limb up in the tree and hoist it up. Okay. Now I got to get 40 pounds with apples and everything else that I brought in there, whatever those 10-pound bags of apples, and 2 of those, and then I got the mangoes, which is another 10 pounds, and then hoist the pistachios and everything. I'm going to hoist it up a tree, and then tie it there on a rope. Everybody, a lot of the people that are criticizing me, they're in RVs. Oh, you should know. Yeah. Go out in the wilderness when you're far away hiking and do what I got to do. And then you got to carry your stuff. And then, okay, yeah, that's right. I'm going to put it up in the tree there this way. See how easy it is. A lot of people are big.
I mean, even folks with the RVs, they got trash to throw out. And bears go through trash. We know that. So, yeah. So,
I've never had to deal with bears.
Yeah, and besides that, anybody can tell you, anybody that goes camping up in the hills and the woods with a tent Of course an animal's going to get in it. It doesn't matter if there's food in it or not. Even a bear do what he can. So, I mean, anything's possible. They can't ridicule you for that just for doing. I mean, that's kind of stupid.
Oh man, I got a lot.
Because I look at it this way. There's a lot of people that don't believe in Bigfoot out there because they've never been out in the woods long enough to even see one. But I look at it this way. When they're camping and eventually they do see one, their mouth's going to drop to the floor and like, oh no, I didn't see that. I just did. And they're not going to talk to nobody for at least a month. I say this because a couple of years ago, before I moved back down here, when I was living up in Redding, California, I took a friend of mine with me in Red Bluff, California to go look at, I think it was an old World War II ambulance. Didn't have an engine in it, but he wanted to go down with me and look at it. As we were going down the road, he saw a Bigfoot. I did too, but I didn't think anything of it. He saw a Bigfoot off to the side, and then he just turned. He didn't say nothing for the rest of the trip. He was completely quiet. I think he was scared shitless. But when he got home, the next day he was over at the house telling my ex-girlfriend that what he had saw, and he said, I don't believe in Bigfoot and all this other stuff, but when I turned around and saw what I saw, there's just no way I could explain it. He said I was quiet the rest of the way. I just didn't know what to say. He said he was petrified.
Well, the reason I brought up that suggestion to you, Chris, is because I've never dealt with them. To see, in Florida, we don't have that problem with bears. We have them, but they don't come around humans.
Yeah, well, this one, he took 7 hours, man. I mean, I was chasing the fucker. Excuse my language. I never swear. I was that pissed. Excuse me. You know, I was angry what he did because it was interfering with my interaction. I'm going like, these storms come every night. What am I going to do? And you should see my video channel, everything. I'm zip tying everything. Thank God I went and bought zip ties. I mean, he bent my rods, he bent my poles, he bent everything. I had to super glue this stuff with zip ties. You guys have no idea. And then I'm out there in the dark. This ain't no rodeo joke. You know, and I was angry, man. I mean, I was at the point where I was like going, like, you know, beyond, like, you know, insane here because he would not leave me alone for 7 hours.
No, trust me, I have a good idea. I know what you went through.
You know, and besides that,
you gotta understand. I mean, I'm sorry, there's a delay here. I was going to say, it's like, you know, but try to understand, you know, animals don't have the same sense that people got. You know what I mean? So, I mean, they have no...
It wasn't his fault.
I get it. You're pissed off. I'm on your side, you know. But, you know, they don't know. You know what I'm saying?
You're right. You're right. Well, you knew... Okay.
Go ahead.
But well, I'm saying, he knew he was in my property. You can't deny that. He knew he came over the invading. You know, he knew that was mine.
But the bear or
the bear, because you know I'm pissing all around to the campsite and going to do my business there. He knew that. The bears aren't stupid. Animals aren't stupid. They know that. He came in there to take. Yeah,
but I mean, you know, but. I mean, you did what you were supposed to do, you know, to try to, like, mark your territory. But, you know...
What happened? Okay, this is weird. Stupid thing. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we have some strange difficulties going on. It's weird. This ain't the only fair time this has ever happened before. So hold on, I'll get the show back on. We're having what they call technical difficulties at this point. It's not the first time this has happened. This is strange. Strange how these things happen. Like I said, hold on everybody, we're having radio difficulties right now. Something happened to the show and I'm trying to figure out what happened. It just went blank. Almost sounds like the old Art Bell radio show. Strange how this stuff happens. I can remember back during the time, I think it was back during 1995 or 96, when I was listening to an Art Bell radio show. Some guy called into the show, a little erratic or whatever, and then just about almost in the middle to almost the end of the show went out. I couldn't believe it, and had to wait at least 15 to 20 minutes for the show to start back up. And Art Bell didn't know what was going on either. They had to go on backup power and everything else. So I said, it's really weird. Like I said, this ain't the first time this has happened at all. But the recording will be back up.
announce yourself.
Coffee he would put down, you know.
Sorry,
he'd make a
everybody.
little recording of.
Don't mean to interrupt you, but
No.
the show went down for some strange reason. Everybody just quit talking, and the show just went blank. It reminded me of a time, I think it was back in 1992 or 93, that Art Bell had the same thing happen to him. He had some guy on his radio show who was acting a little erratic or whatever, and then all of a sudden, the show just quit on air. And he had to wait 20 minutes for it to come back on, and I'm having the same problem. I have no clue what just happened.
Yeah,
You know,
I got
quite a coincidence. Quite a coincidence because, you know, that's what Chris was talking about. You know,
Yeah, I know.
talking about hearing things. We got it. You know.
Yeah, remember, somebody was on the show doing something. We heard this stuff in the background. It wasn't you. It wasn't me. It wasn't Snake Man. Nobody dialed in, and I'm looking at the feeder board, and I'm like, what the hell is going on here? So I don't know. Maybe somebody is out there trying to block us. I have no clue. Or maybe Iranians are trying to do something too. You know how they are with their new technological BS.
You just noticed this? You just noticed this the past few minutes?
Just now, everything just went blank.
Just now.
Just now, everything went blank. You quit talking, Anthony quit talking, everything just went blank and shut down. I'm like, what the hell?
Oh, please don't talk about us Iranians like that, please.
Yeah, that's not Iranian. That's more or less like Hindu. But according to the news I've been watching, Iranians and Iran are trying to do their best to get into the grid by using some sort of technological, what do they call it? How you get in this the computer grid through technologies or whatever, trying to get in to see what's going on. I don't know what the hell they call it.
You mean hacking?
Yeah, hacking. That's it.
Well, you also hear too that they, starting I think next month, I think they're supposed to start doing the selective draft.
Who is?
Registries.
I didn't hear about that.
Who is?
The Uncle Sam, of course.
You didn't say who. You just said they're starting to do the drafting. But that
I said
didn't
Uncle
tell me
Sam.
anything. Okay, well, you should have said Uncle Sam the first time.
Giant, are you recording again, or
Yes,
we're just
we're recording
on the call?
again. We're recording again. And I had to explain to our audience what happened.
All right, so Chris, you know, what else you want to include on your vacation?
My vacation. It was a vacation, even though you know you normally you want to be somewhere in a cabin and overlooking the mountains or on the beach or something and fishing or whatever. It was an honor that they came every night. It was a disappointment that weather had a lot of influence on my time because of 5 nights and 6 days. I mean, for some reason, about from 9:30 to 10:30, it would start severe thunderstorms. After the bear ripped my tent, I knew I couldn't stay an extra night. I was going to stay an extra night and come back, you know, like maybe on Friday, or I could, if I was okay with the water and the food I had left, the bag of apples and the couple of mangoes that I had. I could have stayed and came back today on Saturday. I would have done the show from there tonight. But it was rewarding that they came to see me. But I was disappointing that it didn't get more involved. You know, I mean, when I grabbed those mangoes and brought them to him, I walked right where he was. You know, and I put him on that branch there. He wasn't there. If he was there, I couldn't see him. So, you know, and then when the next night he came, but he was a little bit more of a distance away, and that snap happened, he looked in that direction too. I was looking at him, boom, the snap, and I could see his head looking to his right, which was my left. And he was told not to go any closer like he did the night before. And he had to.
I bet you wish you had an audio recorder.
Yes, I wish I had an audio. Not that Bigfoot was making any sounds to me, but you would have heard the snaps. You would have heard, I had 2 howls. That's right, I had 2 calls. I had another call yesterday. I had 1 call yesterday, but a total of 2. And, if I had a recorder, you would have gotten the calls. You would have had a ton of barred owls. Who knows? We might have heard, why is my arm bruised? That's the thing that gets me, man. I know, why is the finger marks on my arm? So maybe that would have recorded something. You're right, Anthony. That would, who knows? And it was my fault. I should have used my phone.
No, that's okay.
I should have. No, because I was losing. I had no power there. I had to be so conservative with my phone because I couldn't charge my phone anymore. And
look, you needed that battery power for an emergency. Yeah, but you needed that battery power for an emergency, so that's more important. You know what I mean?
No, Anthony, you didn't listen to my story. You missed it. Those brand new things that I bought, those 3 of them that I had, none of them worked up there. That's why I had to go back down the mountain. Besides getting water, was to charge my phone. And
I remember. That's right. Yeah.
You said that's typical. First thing out of your mouth, that's typical.
Well, you got to get
they're draining the batteries.
You got to get one.
They drain the battery.
You get one of those, what do they call them? It looks like a little small thing you hold in your hand that works off of solar, and that when you plug your phone into it, and the solar just charges them up.
Giant, you there?
I'm here.
Stephen, these things were fully these battery chargers things for your phone were fully charged. Bars were 4, fully charged, and I bought an extra one so I would be able to stay there a week if I had to, without ever going down the mountain.
So basically, what happened is these things drain the batteries.
They drained. That's what I was saying to Anthony. He was putting the one reason I was going to say, I'm going to record it. But then I remembered if I record it and I wake up in the morning, I won't have anything. And then I got to go back down the mountain. And when I went down the mountain, it was always like at 30%, 28% on my phone when I got to the bottom. And that took an hour and a half just to sit there in the car and walk around there till it was done. So I was like thinking to myself, shit, I can't even use the recorder. Was thinking of it because of how wonderful the barred owls were and things like that. They were waking me up in the morning. I mean, and not just one. You just hear one. No, there were like 6 of them.
That's unheard. I kind of agree with that because when I went Bigfoot hunting with Chris, not you, but the other Chris, up in Big Bend, California, back in 2015, up in Shasta County, I had a pair of these, what do you call those, glasses. I told you I had a recording lens in the center of both eyes. I went up there, they were fully charged. When I turned them on, they wouldn't work. I'm like, what the hell's going on here? These are fully charged. So when I saw the creature, or this hairy person, what do you call it, I went back to the cabin, I turned them back on, and they worked perfectly fine.
I was dumbfounded. I was going like, you guys, I had to walk down the mountain and then come back up the mountain. I was going like, man, I have to. I had no choice because at 28% or whatever, that's only going to last an extra couple of hours, and then I'm going to have the night and everything. I won't have nothing. So I had to go down and do it. And it was just pissing me off that I couldn't record without going back down, and it worked in my car, but it took forever. I didn't think it would take an hour and a half to fully charge it, and it did. Seemed longer than that.
I'm sitting here. My lights are flickering. I hope we ain't going to have no power outage. It's going to be ridiculous.
Oh, Why is the storm coming?
I don't know about that. We got clear skies out here where I'm at, so I don't know what storm.
Right.
But on the other hand, I'm sitting like 6 miles away from a military, what they call Yuma proving grounds. That's where they test weapons and stuff at. I'm hoping they're not testing anything out in the desert that I shouldn't know of.
Do you hear them testing the weapons?
No, don't hear nothing. Just a lot of wind. We got 80-mile-an-hour winds coming through the valley, and it's coming right coming right through the trailer park.
And it's hot.
No, it's cold air.
Oh, good. Good. That's great news.
I can't handle the heat. If I had my way, I'd either move to Colorado Springs or I'd move up to Shasta, California, where it's nice and cold. It's 75 during the day, and in the winter it drops down like 20 below zero. I can handle that, no problem.
It's beautiful in Colorado. I can tell you that. The time I spent there, you'd be about an hour or so from where I was up in the mountains from Colorado Springs.
Yeah, I will say, I almost moved there.
A fashion model and a supermodel finally got smart for once in her life and moved from Los Angeles to Colorado Springs. Jessica Weaver.
Who's that?
Jessica Weaver. She finally got smart and moved to Colorado Springs. I would have never lived in Colorado, or excuse me, I would have never lived in LA for nobody's ass. Hell no.
Well,
you do it for Bigfoot, guy. Don't lie.
Nah. Even if it was a Bigfoot, I wouldn't move to LA. Hell no.
Well, but no, I cherish the times that physically I'm able to still do this. It comes down to a point where you're doing this, even if you're by yourself or not by yourself, and going out in an area where, you're out of your comfort zone, the physicality and everything, and you can get away with it for a week. So, you're lucky, because there's going to be, before you know it, I'm not going to be able to do this. It's over. Yeah. It's over. And having those animals in interaction, even the chipmunks and the squirrels were very friendly. They'd be running around. There was no fear. They were all around the campsite, the squirrels and even the blue jays, which are normally one of the cautious birds that you'd stay away from humans. They even came around. And
you're talking about animals. There's a place in Northern California I've been so used to going there a lot when I was a kid, and I can still do it to this day. At home, I could have chipmunks crawl up on my leg, and I can have my hand out, and they'll eat right out of my hand, where if they saw somebody else come in, they'd just take off and go climb a tree and stay up there. It's like animals have this intuition. They know who's good, and they know who's bad. I've never had a problem with chipmunks or any type of small critter coming up to me and sit in my lap or whatever and feeding them. I've even fed, raccoons. When I was living with Chris up in, Lake Isabella, California, we went to natural sulfur hot springs to soak in the, hot springs. And hot springs are very healthy for your body. And I got out of the hot springs, got a little too hot, and I was sitting on this rock, naked as a jaybird, because it's a nudity place. And I'm just sitting there, and all out of the blue at night, here comes this skunk right up to me. Everybody's freaking out. They run towards the hot springs, and they stay in the hot springs. And everybody's looking at me like, you better get out, that thing's going to spray you. This skunk comes right on up to my leg. So I took out a cracker, and I gave it a cracker, and it didn't do nothing to me. And everybody's looking at me like, how is it didn't spray you? But it sprays all of us. I told him because skunks don't like loud noise. That's why they spray. It's only common sense.
Well, that's an interaction in itself right there, man. Wow. Skunk.
I've had the same thing with raccoons, skunks, what do you call those? Beavers. What the hell's that? I think it's called a ferret or something like that. Oh no, an otter. I take it back. An otter. I never had no problems. I even have deer come down to me, and when I have like oats or something in my hand, they just eat oats right out of my hand like it's no big thing. Or sometimes they'll eat popcorn.
Oh, I love popcorn. You know what was a lot coming out, and it really is. Besides peepers and frogs, letting you know it's springtime, because that's for me. That's the first sign of spring is knowing that the peepers are out. The frogs.
It's the one
they
you
just
didn't.
go
It's the
all
wonder
night.
you didn't have a cougar come into your camp.
No, but I've seen two, but it's been a while since the last one was up at the cabin. Okay. But what I did see was hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of orange salamanders.
No,
the orange.
Hey, Steve. I got a young man here I want you guys to listen to. He wants to tell you a little something about a paranormal experience he had.
You don't mind, Chris?
Okay.
Hold on.
No, not at all.
Come on the show. Welcome to the show.
All right, introduce yourself.
Hey, my name is Noah Stone. I'm from Greenwood, Texas. How you doing?
We're doing good. Let's hear your story.
Yeah, thanks for coming on.
So, this all started whenever I had the idea of going to this abandoned hospital at 3 a.m. And, just out of curiosity. We went there at 3 a.m. because they said...
Hold on. Is this hospital opened or abandoned?
It's abandoned. It's abandoned hospital.
Okay.
So we went over there at 3 a.m. and it's like they always say the best stuff happens at 3 a.m. So I was like, okay. So we went up there, did a little video, and then we started taking pictures, and we caught like shadow people staring at us. And then when we got to the morgue where the people like dropped the body, like the little down drive garage, we took a picture of that. Then we could see like a figure brown with bright eyes and just like smiling at us. And it was like,
that's freaky.
Like, wow.
That's freaky.
Then,
wow.
After we got around the whole hospital, we heard like somebody right beside my ear just go like this. The next, we heard a door slam, and I just took off running. Because I was like, man, I am not staying here. I ain't gonna find out what happened. Like, it really scared the living crap out of me.
Hey, Snake Man, is that the one that you were telling me that's in Paris, Texas?
Yeah. Yes, it is.
Well, you lived in Paris, Texas before. You and Julie did, didn't you?
And it was open at that time.
Oh, wow.
Wow, that's right.
That's weird and a little scary at the same time.
Yeah, man. I was like, at first I didn't believe in the paranormal, but I believe it now after that night.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. That's one experience.
So you,
I feel like I was
filming
what?
Well, I know Paris, Texas.
Yeah, I was doing it.
I know Paris, Texas got
Just
a lot of...
like a little...
I know Paris, Texas
like
got a lot of Bigfoot sightings.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, you were saying you're doing a little like a filming for yourself?
Yeah, like just like a little small video.
Yeah. Huh. Did you, I mean, it's creepy enough as it is going to one of those hospitals. I mean, the sense of just anxiety going in there and looking, I give you applause for doing that. But I mean, was there like, was there like,
Chris, you meant
Yep.
is there physical proof, right?
No, I was the question I was trying to ask, if you let me finish the question, please. I said, let me finish the question. I was trying to ask the young man that when you were there, did you, besides your own anxiety and feeling nervous and stuff, did anything appear to you that you saw that, like, was there like a glow? Was there
an orb?
A scratch on you, or was there?
Yeah, I'm live.
I'm sorry.
I didn't get scratched. Like, I just felt like the presence, like, of like being watched at the same time. And just like I said, as soon as I heard somebody exhale right beside my ear, and then next thing you know, a door just slammed shut.
Ooh.
It's just like I see, like I said, I just took off running because I didn't know what to do at that point. Like, I just panicked and I took off running.
Were you by yourself?
Feeling of being watched.
Especially,
oh yeah.
Especially when he just said
Like,
somebody
my heart
whispered
was, like,
in his ear.
Pounding. What'd you say, sir?
Whispered in it. Did you understand what he whispered in your ear, or I missed that part? If you
No, it was just like somebody like taking a breath of air and then exhaling it right back out right beside my ear, and that kind of freaked me out.
Wow.
Okay.
It just sent me into like a panic.
So, are you? Is this where Bruce is going this week?
Yes.
Are you going to be accompanying Bruce to this?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, take Bruce. He's not afraid of anything.
Are you going to be recording?
More than likely. Yep.
That's cool.
Okay. Are you going to bring those EB whatever sensors, the electronic whatever
they're called? They're called ghost. They're called ghost sensors. It's like a little thing on your phone, and if it goes all the way up to yellow from red, something is there. It's an EMF field detector, basically, because these spirit beings, they put off a lot of electromagnetic energy.
Yes.
Okay. Is there anything else you're going to bring, like holy water or your cross or something?
Yeah, I doubt that's even going to
being in the hospital, you might as well bring both just in case, because you never know what you're going to encounter.
Yep. That's why I mentioned it. I'd go to your nearest like church, and if they have the bowl there with water, fill it up. Man, I'd be pouring some of that over me.
Out of all places people talk about, like, go and ghost hunting in the woods, it ain't really that bad. No, go to an abandoned hospital and tell me how you feel afterwards. You'll never be the same.
I bet. Yeah, I bet. You know, there's a cemetery up here in New England that I don't know how many. You know, it's been around since the Pilgrims or something like that. Not too far after that, telling Bruce about it. And you know, I thought about going over there and filming it, but I'm sure a hospital is a lot worse.
Yes. I mean, because you got patients that were coming in and out, dying, and then some were sent to the psych ward, and then, you know, it's just a process along the way.
Now, according to Bruce, when Bruce lived there in Paris, Texas, years back, Bruce said that hospital was opened up at the time. I guess it was an operation, They had the psych.
Yeah, it was.
They had the psych ward upstairs, and they had the regular hospital downstairs. Now I could believe that because we got a hospital like that up in Northern California.
And the funny thing is, go ahead, sir.
No, I was just curious for the audience and people to hear. What year did it close down?
What time? When did the hospital close down? Hold on, give me 1 second. Since we're trying to find the information about when it shut down, my great-grandma went to that hospital and actually died in that hospital.
Maybe that's the person that was actually smiling at you. Was her spirit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good theory. Yeah, I can go with that.
But at the same time, though, it could be something else trying to impersonate to be my great grandma at the same time.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So it's kind of hard to believe what to see. I mean, like
Imagine that.
Like it's.
No, I'm just your point of like impersonating. You know that they will think of something like that in your presence to fool you. I mean, if that's the case, man, wow, oh, man, that's going over the cliff.
That's crazy.
I know, right? I mean, it's just like because like you don't know what you're gonna walk into.
Right.
It's like unpredictable. Anything can happen. Anything.
How many are going with you?
Just me and Bruce. He likes to be called Snake Man. Snake Man.
Yeah.
He doesn't like to be called by his government name. No.
So Donkey did it coming well.
So let me play the old Snake Man.
So before, one more thing. I just want to tell you, Chris, before Giant closes the show, that I did put out an audio recorder. Okay. And
great.
And now hold on a second. I'm not done.
Okay, so here's the information about
typically. Hold on one second.
Oh, you're fine.
So I was saying that I put out a recorder, right? And I had a rechargeable battery in it. And typically, the rechargeable battery lasts a long time. I can record for like 8 hours. I mean, like if I recorded 8 hours a night, I could get at least 3, 4, 5 nights out of it. Okay, but I had the recorder. It had, out of 3 bars, I had two bars of battery life. So thinking, all right, for one night, plenty of power. But there was activity. Activity was heard, and but the recorder went dead. Sound familiar?
Oh, yes. Isn't that crazy, man? They know, and they're always wondering, Anthony, why are the pictures always so blurry about Bigfoot? Why is it so hard to it's with it, and that's why I didn't even want to film them. I was always saying, I'm not taking a picture of you. If I'm taking a picture of a salamander or a picture of the campsite, I kept on telling them, I'm not taking a picture of you. And I don't know if they understood it or not, but my batteries went, even though I told them I wasn't going to take them, they drained them. That's crazy. Yeah.
All right, so the other guest, go ahead. What were you going to say?
The hospital shut down June 1st of 2018.
Whoa,
that's not too long ago.
Wow,
that was like 7 or 8 years ago.
Yeah,
you're good at that.
Yeah, I thought he was going to say something like 1950 or 60 or something, but that's pretty recent.
I mean, like I said, you think it would be, but no. They try to keep it open as much as they could, but...
Ran out of funds, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
So do you know what rooms that they said were like they kept the cadavers or people that passed away? Did they have it labeled?
We haven't been like, inside, because they have it all like boarded up, so we can.
Okay.
I just only managed to get kind of like video footage, you know, of the outside, you know, pictures. I haven't physically gone into the hospital.
Okay. Are you going to try to get closer this time you go?
Yes, I'm trying to go all the way in.
Well,
Steve, you got a question?
No, I'm just going to close out the radio show. Thank everybody for coming in, and good luck going to that hospital, and you go with them too, Snake Man.
Oh, appreciate you, man.
Stay behind.
Yeah, okay.
I'd be supervising from a good
Well, ladies and gentlemen,
Whatever, man.
this is the Gentle Giant, and this is the Bigfoot Radio for this week. And we would like you all to tune in next week for some more Bigfoot Radio. And all of us on the Bigfoot Radio Network, we would also like to thank our guests for joining in on the discussion tonight on this talk show. And we would also like to thank you, our listeners, for sharing our adventures with us. Join us again next Friday evening for another exciting hour of Bigfoot Radio with the Bigfoot research teams from across the country. And we would also especially like to thank our listeners. Until then, this is the Gentle Giant saying good night, be good, be safe, and we will see you here again next week. Until then, keep Bigfoot live and keep Bigfooting. See you all again next week. Bye-bye, and have a nice night.
Just like a man, while keeping out of sight.
Night time, boy.